Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
so we're here. We're on the air. So, welcome to the first Golf-Topia with Scott and Julie. I'm Scott Merchant, one of the co-hosts. With me is Julie Roberts, our other co-host, and we're very excited to have our very first hangout up and on the air. And we've brought in the big guns and the heavy artillery for our first guest. I'm going to introduce to you Ryan Wood from One to One Marketing, who's the CEO and president of One to One Marketing. Ryan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm on to be your inaugural guest here, so um, I do appreciate it, and thanks for the time.
Yeah, we'll be gentle. We'll throw some softball questions and go. But basically, we're just going to talk a little bit about what's going on with One to One Marketing. So why don't you start with a brief introduction for somebody that hasn't heard of your company, and talk a little bit about what is One to One Marketing. What do you guys do in the golf industry?
Yeah, well, so we've been around since oh gosh, roughly 2005 or so, and so we service primarily golf facilities in the public, semi-private, and limitedly private sectors of the golf market. We help them with their marketing aspects, primarily online, via the website, social media, email marketing, and channels. And so we've have roughly 500 or so golf facilities that we work with actively and help them manage their campaigns and their marketing online. And so that's the primary focus of our business. And Julie here is one of our customers and one of our very good customers. And we've had a long relationship here for quite a few years now. And so yeah, that's our primary focus, and a little bit of history of what we do.
So if I'm a golf course owner and operator, and I run into you guys at the PGA show or somewhere else, what are the services that you're going to come at me with, and what's your ideal customer trying to put yourself out there for the golf pro?
Right. So our philosophy is really to help the facility market themselves and give them the tools to really be able to do so, and assist them and support them along the way. And so, in doing so, a good candidate customer for us would be somebody that's in need of kind of revitalizing their web presence. And so, kind of get on the Web 2.0 design and technology. Market themselves with that new design and technology via email, social media, etc. And so there's a lot of antiquated technology out there to be replaced, and a lot of golf courses fall into that category as well. And so we've helped a few facilities update their technology and get them on a new platform, get them marketing themselves in a more current manner and a more effective manner, and have had a lot of success in doing so.
All right, Julie, I'm sure you might have some questions for Ryan there from being a customer, and fire away.
Yeah, just a quick comment and question, I suppose. I think one of the toughest things from the course operator standpoint, whether it be from a PGA professional or otherwise, is what qualifies one-to-one marketing as a website provider, marketing assistance. What uniquely qualifies you and your company more than someone else or another outfit or a local company?
Okay. Well, for one, golf is really our specialty. So most of the majority of the staff that we've employed over the years has all been golf connected to golf, whether it's an owner, operator, a PGA member. Myself, I've been in the golf business for my career prior to one-to-one marketing, working at some high-end private facilities, and then actually playing for a few years on the mini tours. So we've always been very connected to golf, and our staff is very connected to golf as well. So I think that really gives us an advantage over the local facility or the local marketing company to be able to really, because we can connect, we understand the business, and it's really it's our passion, it's what we enjoy doing, and so it's golf is something that's been part of our lives both recreationally and professionally, and so I think that having that knowledge and that insight is really gives us a leg up. And when it comes to our competitors in the industry that also maybe handle golf, for us, our philosophy has always been kind of empowering our customers, providing them the best technology that's available, the best pricing, a very fair model, and so that's helped us remain competitive in the golf space as well.
So Ryan, and that's kind of what I was getting at. I've always been, what impressed me most in beginning to work with one-to-one marketing was that you had an inherent knowledge of the daily operation of a golf course. I think that's something that when I'm looking for a marketing partner, it certainly helps to have somebody that understands the realities of the day-to-day life at a golf course. So what would you say, I guess from your perspective and having worked all the years that you have now on that side of the business and the technology side, what from your perspective is the greatest challenge, if you can identify one, what is the greatest challenge in sort of sitting where you sit now and looking back in at we as golf professionals and operators, how could we sort of help you do your job better?
Okay, sure. Well, I would have to take a marketing perspective on it since that's what we do. There you guys are. So I would say that, looking back at kind of internally what we used to do and where I can see companies and golf facilities really needing help, it's on attract consumer to return to their golf facility. I think that there's always been a lot of effort placed on other aspects of the facility and the operations, and today's marketplace has changed a little bit since I was at the facility, and these days we can't just wait for the golfer to walk through the doors anymore, and we have to proactively engage them in dialogue and communicate to them and encourage them to come back. And you can't take a reactive approach anymore like we used to be able to, but instead proactively reach out and communicate and engage your customers, and that I think is really critical at this stage. And so in the courses that are doing so, I think are really starting to see the results in that effort and that marketing.
So what I guess what of your products or services, how are they molding to kind of fit that goal, right? Like what are we doing from a website or mobile or overall technology to help kind of make that tracking and return of the consumer take effect?
So to be able to market to your consumers, you got to be able to capture their data, and so that's really key. And just training facilities to not only do it online via technology, which is very important through the website and through social media and email, etc., but just at the counter to be able to ask and request that information. And your best category of people to market to are your current customers, because it's significantly more inexpensive to get somebody to come back and see you than it is to acquire a new customer, and so somebody that hasn't played at your facility before. So just engaging the customer when you see them, collecting that data, also doing it online via great design is really important, very clear design, so that a customer can land on your facility, there's a good first impression, and there are clear call to action so that they can take the next step, they can enter their information, and then you're able to market to them and have that dialogue with them and encourage them to come out and play your facility.
So Ryan,
go ahead, Julie. Yeah.
Sorry. So what's the latest trend in sort of the appearance of the website? What's the latest, greatest thing that you're seeing and you're implementing to make someone's website really stand out above anyone else's?
Well, the latest is all responsive design, and responsive design is a website that adapts to whatever device it's being viewed on. So, you know, there's 1,000 different devices out there right now, and whether you're viewing the website on your computer, on a mobile device, or a tablet, or what have you, the website will respond and display appropriately for that device, and have the various call to actions in place that are appropriate for that device. You know, as the world moves towards mobile, that's really where everything's going, and you must design mobile first. And so that's kind of our focus these days is, number one, how is this going to function from a mobile perspective, and then number two, how is it going to function from a desktop perspective, you know, how we've traditionally designed. And so that's the biggest trend right now, when it from a website and an email perspective, is it's really everything's going mobile. And so we've really made a push over the last couple of years to do so. We design accordingly, we architect accordingly. You know, the things that we're working on is geared towards mobile, and so I would say that, you know, that's really the push right now in the industry.
Interesting.
So
you go mobile first. Yeah.
Yeah. How can your clients help adapt as well? I mean, you know, I find that as we do some updating, whether it's you know, T-sheet or point of sale software, I find that, you know, we have to update operating systems and things like that, and that's kind of hard from those of us who are outside of the world of technology. You know, we don't live it every day like somebody like you does, or even somebody like Scott does. So how do you educate your users and your clients on how to keep up with that?
Well, so you know, something that's very simple to do, and what I will encourage our customers to do is one way to easily create that dialogue and maintain it is, and doing so, you know, via your smartphone, and you can do that these days through social media very easily. You know, Facebook and Instagram and even somewhat Twitter, you know, which isn't as popular, I think, amongst golfers, but Facebook and Instagram, they go take a picture on their smartphone, add a quick caption, and post that. And so that immediately creates some sort of an interest, and you can get some traction via your audience and your customers by doing so. And it takes seconds to really post something like that. And we also have some tools in place that can automate that process and distribute that content to the various channels, such as the website and social media, to make it a little more simple. But I think it's you know, just kind of training yourself and your staff to be able to do that, and to you know, take initiative and go out and take the photo and post something to social media and Facebook, and stay on top of it. And it only takes a few seconds of your day.
So what's your role, Ryan, kind of on a day-to-day? We got a little bit of one-to-one. What's more of your role within the company, and you know, and what are you doing on a daily and weekly basis to get things moving forward?
Well, you know, just kind of overseeing the operations here, and you know, making sure everybody's doing what they need to do, and you know, just really that. I really enjoy having my hands kind of on the technology. That's a side of things that I really enjoy, and have always done. So I get involved with that. So sometimes I'll get my hands dirty and you know, help out with some of the code, or you know, design or whatnot, and just, you know, managing the projects, keeping an eye on things, and just trying to kind of keep my hand on the pulse and see what's going on with the industry. Just talk to people like yourselves, and you know, stay up to date, and try to make sure that we're delivering the best product and the most applicable product to our customers.
Okay. So what, I guess if you can take one-to-one out of it, or even put one-to-one in if you want, but what would you say the 2 or 3 best practices are? Like if I'm a golf pro or golfer operator, say, all right, I need to do something better with my website or with my email marketing. What would be some of those quick hits you would say, you've got to do this, you've got to take this away, and these are some of the things that you'd want them to do?
Yeah, number one is collect your customer information. There's too many facilities that aren't doing it as well as they could be doing it. It's difficult to do, but to really just make a push to do so and continue to do so. So that's number one. You're not going to be able to do any marketing unless you have your customer data. And like I said, the best people to market to are your existing customers. So be sure you're collecting that data. Number two, get an email out once, if not once every other week at the latest, and just stay on top of that. And that's something that's pretty simple to do, and something that we could help you with. But that is very effective. Email is still the best form of best medium to communicate with your customers via. Number three, make sure your website has the important call to action items. Make sure that it's very clear and easy for a customer to access your tee time booking engine. Drive people via your emails back to your website to book those tee times. So, number one, collect your data. Number two, make sure you're sending out an email once or every other week, once a week or every other week. Three, have your clear call to actions on the website. Number four, engage in social media. Go out and just take a photo of the ladies' league or the junior camp this summer or what's going on. Something that's kind of interesting and unique that occurs, every day at the golf facility. Get something up there, once or twice a week for social media, and just stick to Facebook. If that's all you can do right now, you don't have to worry about the other platforms right now. If you only have so much time, stick to what's most effective, and that's email and Facebook.
Have you seen some challenges on email? Have you seen the open rates going up, down, staying the same? What are some of the technical challenges that you're seeing? With,
there are some new things. Gmail recently introduced their tagged profile with social and promotional material that they filter out automatically. So there's a little bit of filtering there. We don't have a ton of data yet on how that's being handled, but the open rates are still very good. Emails, I still think it is really the best form of communication with your customers and prospective customers. So things are changing, and we're always adapting and adjusting our technology and our infrastructure to handle those changes, so we maintain a very high level of deliverability. But overall, still, email is extremely effective.
How does someone measure open rate, and can you help a client with that? Being able to sort of see how relevant their information is and how many people are actually reading the message?
Sure. Yeah. So you can definitely track open rates, and it's done via an image that's embedded into an email, and that's how the open rates are actually tracked. Now, for a deliverability perspective and a open rate perspective, something that we've noticed is that campaigns with the highest open rates generally include something along the lines of just a newsletter, having newsletter in the subject, like August or September newsletter. And so those are opened more frequently than something that maybe reads more as a sales pitch or a promotion. People are more interested in what's going on around the club. And so I always encourage people to create kind of a dialogue and send out emails that aren't 100% promotional based, or maybe isn't the total message in that particular email, because people want to find out what's going on at the club, what's upcoming, what's occurred, and so it's just good information. It's good communication with your customers, and so content is a factor in the algorithms when it comes to open rate, and so just having good, relevant, applicable content will help with open rates and deliverability.
Sense.
What are some of the best emails you've seen? I'm sure you probably get a lot of your customers' emails. What are some of the ones that stick out to you that you find as the best?
I really like the ones where people will tell a story sometimes of something that has occurred at the golf facility. I was actually talking with Harvey Silverman over at Palooza recently about it, and Tama Shanter sent out a story about one of their members. And they had the best response of anything they sent out all year on that particular email, and it was just I don't exactly remember the story, but it was just something interesting about what one of their members did in the course, the amount of time, how many years he spent there, and kind of his history and his relationship with the facility, and that was received really, really well. So, and I think that's the type of content and what people like to read. And in addition to obviously the promotional stuff and you know, your marketing material, I think it's great to sprinkle in, you know, that sort of content and stuff that, you know, is relevant and interesting to all of us.
So can I put you on the spot then, Ryan?
Sure.
Wait, we said we would be gentle with him as a first guest, right?
Yeah, that was.
I said I would be gentle. Julie,
there's always something I want then. But now I want to know which of my emails has been the most relevant. Which one's being opened the most? So is that something you could report back on a monthly basis?
Yeah, I will get back to you on that. I
promise. Good service.
Okay, good. What are some of your favorite websites that you guys have created lately, Ryan? If somebody said, "Hey, I want to check out," I'm sure they can go to your webpage on one-to-one-marketing.com. But what are some of the recent ones that you've done where you're like, yeah, it really looks good, or it kind of fits, what you think a golf course website should be?
Yeah, you can see some of our new designs on one-to-one-marketing.com. But a new facility that we recently took live, GatewayGolf.com, down in Fort Myers area of Florida. They've got a really nice new design, new responsive design. San Ramon, out in the San Fran area, I believe, they've got a nice new site. So those are two more recent designs that we've done that have come out really nice. And so, yeah. But Design Gallery, you'll see if there's a gallery on our webpage, you can take a look there, and that's got our most recent stuff on it.
All right, so we went over some of the best practices. You got a couple of the, you got some of the turn-offs, some of the stayaways, and under no circumstances, allow these things to happen to your website or to your business.
Yeah, well, with websites, some of my pet peeves are scrolling text. I'm not a big fan of scrolling text, so stay away from that. Any kind of, you don't want, what you want to do is you don't want to distract away from your call to actions. Your most important elements on the website, such as your tee time buttons, you want to have clear, good contrast for your call to actions. You want the eye to drift towards those items so that that's what people click on, whether it's reserving a tee time, whether it's purchasing something on your online store, signing up for an event registration, anything that kind of generates revenue or captures data as well. As long as it doesn't distract from that, then you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's the attention span of a typical website visitor?
Ooh,
it is not
good question. I like that one.
Second. So that is why I think design and something that's very aesthetically pleasing, good photography,
right.
Great call to actions are really, really important, because you just have a couple of seconds and you want somebody to land on your site, create a really good first impression, so that something that really represents your facility well is really important. And then there's the clear buttons that they can click and perform the next task, which is either giving you their information so that you can communicate with them in the future, or booking a tee time, or purchasing something on your store.
Yeah, so because I think my pet peeve, if Scott were to ask me that question about
Julie, what's your pet peeve for a golf course website?
Right. So bad pictures. I mean, it's just if I go to some travel website to try and find out more about a place I want to visit or a place I want to stay, boy, if the pictures are shady, I'm out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's make or break, really. I mean, and I've seen it, and I probably visited I don't know, a couple thousand golf course websites, and I've seen high-end golf course websites have low-end pictures, and low-end golf courses have high-end pictures. They can, get the course while the sun is setting and it's mowed right or whatever. It's amazing, the difference.
Yeah.
That
There's an investment. Yeah, I just and I'm guilty of it too at my own property. You know, I'll go out and take the photos myself to, you know, save the budget a bit, but it's you know, we're going to do some work on that.
Well, good. Good. You know, photography makes such a big difference, and we'll take those photos and we'll make them look good. Apply a little bit of treatment to them. So.
Yeah, so you're like taking like bald spots out of like somebody's heads,
Sure.
or making the greens look nice and green. Is that a little
Amazing.
Photoshop?
That's right.
Yeah, that's the one thing that a lot of us as course operators sorely lack in. Either we don't have the software or we don't know how to use it. So that's something that's nice to be able to rely on a marketing partner to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And or even a local photographer is great for that as well. You know, they're fairly inexpensive these days, and so you know, it really makes a big difference. It really
I would
does.
assume, yeah, I would assume you could get, you know, somebody off of Craigslist or whatever that may be a golfer even. You know, not that I'm a fan of bartering, but say, hey, listen, you want to force them out here on a Wednesday at noon? You know, take some pictures and just figure out a good week where the course is in good shape or the greens look good or whatever. And get in, I don't know, probably get 5 or 10 good pictures, you know, from somebody with a nice camera, wouldn't you think?
Right.
Yeah, and that's all you
Right.
need.
I think some barter relationships are healthy.
As long as he's not reselling those barter times. We're not, you know what? That's a conversation for another day. All right. Yeah. Let's stick with websites. All right. So, any other no-nos besides the scrolling text and the bad pictures, Ryan? Anything else you got?
Well, I mean, good design is really important, I think. You know, and there's a lot of good design is a little subjective, but it's definitely important. I think it really will invite your customer into your website and really invite them into your facility. And I think just they convert at a higher rate. A better design facility site will convert at a higher rate.
Yeah.
And the data shows that. And so I'd say good design. You know, it's not necessarily a good place to cut corners on your website and its design. There's a lot of DIY and builders out there that you can put together a pretty good design. But you know, I think having a professional taking a look at it and putting their touch on it can be very valuable and can go a long way.
Yeah. The tricky thing is, it's like, well, I don't. You know, if I want to save that expense, you might not realize what you're missing, right? Because an internet consumer could jump onto your website, not like what they see, not like the do-it-yourself, not like the pictures, and they jump away, and you don't necessarily have that, hey, this cost you a foursome today and another foursome tomorrow, so you don't have that, you know, sheer statistic that because you wanted to do it yourself and save $200, you just cost yourself 8 foursomes over the last 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely, that's absolutely true. You know, and that's where everybody's doing. You know, that's the first place you go now when you're thinking about a place to play. You know, you go online and stick it into Google, and you know, you look at the websites. And so that's your first impression to capture a golfer. And so I think it's very important.
Yeah, I think a difficult balance as a course operator after all the good designs, you know, all that's done and one-to-one, you know, in my case has done their part of the job. Then for me, the tough balance is how much or how little information do people want. I mean, you can I've seen websites loaded with information to the point where you just almost feel like you're just mired in too much information and you want to get away from the site and find something else that's cleaner, easier, quicker. And then you go to some where I'm like, I'm not getting any information here, and then you get frustrated and don't feel like calling, and you go somewhere else. So what's the perfect balance of not enough information and too much information?
Well, that's a good question. Because there is a balance, and I encourage courses to, you know, photography for golf is really important. I think it really kind of can show the facility and
Yeah.
can really, you know, a picture speaks 1,000 words, and so having some good photography will really help. And then having, just like I say, those clear call to actions, the elements that you want your visitors to perform, booking those tee times, and then also having some more, informational items on there as well. Having an archive of your recent newsletters, having a calendar of events, I think is really great and really important. A section where people can sign up for those events online. Without leaving your site, which makes it easier for the consumer and also easier for the operator to manage those events. So I definitely think that good content, content is really important, and but laying it out in a way that is mindful and done in a way so that it's really easy to navigate and to parse through and to get the information that you want without overloading the consumer as well. So, again, good design, really good clear call to actions, those are the two most important elements, and then fill that in with content.
Perfect. Good
Julie,
enough.
you got any more questions before I hit him with a couple softballs?
Lob them out there.
All right. How's newly married life? We're I think 6 months in, 5 months in,
We are something like that. Yeah, it's so April 5th was the day. So where does that put us? Yeah, about
You remember
that.
the date? That's good. So you remembered the anniversary date. So.
Yep. As long as I remember it, next April 5th is that's the important part.
Put it on your calendar now, buddy. That way you don't forget. So.
That's right. I got to utilize that technology that I
All right,
actively promote.
we're off to Italy. What are you most looking forward to? Not we, me and you and your new bride. What are you most looking forward to in Italy?
Yeah, well, I've heard pretty good reviews from Cinque Terre. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a particular restaurant that we got to go visit. Is that right?
Yep. My wife's working on that one for you too. So.
Yeah, no, it's all going to be good. I can't wait. I've never been, so we are very, very excited.
All right, so we're gonna end this with an homage to my guy Ricky Potts, who was kind of the inspiration for this whole thing to get this thing off the ground. We're gonna have he calls it the lightning round, and I hate that name, so we're calling it the emergency 9. All right, I'm gonna give you 9 questions. You're gonna answer them as fast as you can. Are you ready?
Okay, I wasn't prepped for this, so. All
No,
right.
you weren't, and I'm throwing it right at you, but hopefully nothing you can't answer. All right, what's your handicap?
Oh, right now, we'll say a 7.
We'll say a 7. That's you want some strokes? All right.
I might be sandbagging a little bit.
All right. Have you had a hole-in-one?
No.
Oh.
I had a really good par. And then knocked it in the hole, and my dad refused to give me a hole-in-one. So.
Hole-in-3, I guess we can count it as a hole-in-3.
It's a great
Is that
par.
what you call it, Julie? You're the PGA pro there.
This is where we use those new softer rules, I would say.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
so we have
right.
hole-in-one. Perfect. Great.
Yeah.
Your favorite golfer and why?
Oh, I'm a big Tiger fan. I'll admit it. And Rory's he's really growing on me. I mean, it's just they both play just unbelievable golf. So how can you not like them? They're
Best course you've played. What first comes in your mind?
Bethpage Black.
Ooh.
Black course, actually.
Did you go all the way to the back tees and torture yourself? Okay.
Shot was pretty rough, but it was fun.
Okay, good. What's going to need to happen for the U.S. to win the Ryder Cup next month?
Ooh, I don't know. They're just going to have to play well. But, I mean, we got these young guys out there that are doing that, so it's going to be interesting.
Okay, you're not giving up on it. I like it.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Can you beat everyone there at your company in the game of golf? Or do you have some people
Maybe on a good day.
on a good day? That's it? You got a couple players over there?
We got a couple, yep.
The best idea you've seen or the one you want implemented, what's the best idea to grow the game?
Oh, I heard a good one the other day. I don't have the answer to that, but one that I heard the other day was breaking up the 18 holes into 3 6-hole tracks, and I thought that was pretty good because a guy like myself, who gets off work around 5:30, can go out and play 6 holes before he heads home, and I like that idea.
That's
You have
interesting.
well, I don't know if you know High Meadow Ranch down in just outside of Houston. David Ogren and those guys. So David built a golf course with 3 6-hole loops that get you back to the clubhouse. So
Cool.
couple stops for beverages, plus the 6-hole loop, and he'll do 6-hole rounds, during the morning and afternoon, because you can get there in the morning and get a quick 6 in too. So
I guess before work as well. Yeah, absolutely.
what's the advice you're going to give to Tiger Woods to fix everything he's got going on right now?
Well, I think take these couple of months and just hang out and relax, and then just go hit golf balls and stop thinking about it.
So no instructors, no nothing. Just go to the end of the range and figure it out.
That's right. Go hit some shots. So
Okay.
he's the best ever at that. So
I will say the thing that bothers me most as a somebody who teaches the game, and I'm sure Ryan you did in your professional career prior to one-to-one marketing, is the example that sometimes these guys and Tiger in particular sets for the rest of the world. Just the overthinking and the exaggerated movements prior to the swing and all this stuff, and it's just the old saying, paralysis by analysis. But yeah, I'd love to see him just play the game again with what he shows up to the course with that day, like he did in the early Butch years.
Yep.
Ooh, Butch. Do you know something we don't? Is Butch back in the mix, Julie?
He moved to Florida, I think. Isn't he going to be the instructor at the Floridian now?
Oh, he's out of Rio Seco. See, look, you got all this inside knowledge that guys like Ryan and I don't have. So,
I'll admit I'd like to see that reunion. That would be interesting.
I think
agree.
I think Butchie said no, though. I would like to see it too, but I mean, you always say no until there's I guess a check that you can't refuse, maybe.
Yeah. Wait.
Back up the Brinks truck. Just back it right on up to his new place there in Florida, and they'll figure it out, I'm sure. So,
Right.
all right, last one. What is next for one-to-one marketing?
Well, we got some stuff we're working on that we should unveil here at the PGA show. That's basically going to help assist facilities do what we just described, and really help them market themselves, and provide some content, and really better utilize the tools that are out there for right now and moving forward.
All right, love it. All right, so PGA show, you'll be there. I'm assuming you'll probably be at the industry show as well in San Antonio in February.
We'll meet them both.
Maybe a few of the local state shows. I would imagine you and Howie and somebody will be there.
Yep.
All right, so the website 1-2-1marketing.com. Thank you, Ryan, for being the first guest for getting Julie and I off the schneid and off and running here. So couldn't think of a better way to start it. So
I really appreciate it. Thanks to you both.
All right, we will see you guys next week. Thank you.
All right. Yep. See you guys.
All right.